Damn, there's one button. One press. Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? Welcome back to the OS Rick Project, episode 66. Guys, how are y'all? How y'all been? What you been up to? What are y'all playing? What are you not playing? Guys, thank you for hanging out. Whether you're at work, on your way to work, or working out, I want to say thank you very much for listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Episode 66, guys. Episode 66, the only podcast that promises not to charge you $15 for Ninja Turtle skin for your avatar that has no facial expressions that you can't use for the. We'll talk about that later, guys. We'll talk about that later, guys. But anyways, how y'all been? What you playing? We got lots of stuff to talk about. A lot of things I want to talk about. We're all over the place. We'll be dipping into the fighting games for sure. Some upcoming releases. Some things off the top of my head, some ramblings. You know how it is, guys. I kind of just go with the flow, and whatever happens, happens. We talk about. I could be wrong about some things, but just kind of like anything, right? You kind of have to just take it with a grain of salt because, I look at some things up and I give you my twist on it and what I think about it, what I feel about it, my impressions and stuff. But different people to each their own. But now you guys know how I feel. So I'm all fidgety about everything. But now you guys know how I feel about predatory money transactions and stuff like that. Yeah, I know I hate it and stuff like that. I'm against it, vehemently against it. It almost feels like, and I'm sure there's you guys out there listening too, especially with the newer games, right? Where they're trying to find a way to justify having these AAA teams and budgets and trying to have it where they could get more money back, whether it includes increasing the prices by another $10, so having MSRP of $70, which I get it. Things are getting more expensive to make, but at the same time, they're being saddled on with freaking battle passes, microtransactions, whether it's skins and loots. And I know, guys, I know I like to I play this tune a lot, but I just kind of want to like let it be out there, but then let it be known and not let it become the norm, because that's what it feels like, and that's what it is, honestly, right? It's one of those things where you just constantly get bombarded with it, and then it slowly becomes the norm. And then if we just kind of just collectively, as people who enjoy video games, whether you're enthusiast or a casual, don't be a filthy casual, whether you are, you start just kind of like not saying something, it just becomes a norm, becomes a norm, becomes a norm. Next thing you know, like, it is a norm. It becomes with every game, with every package, right? I mean, case in point with Capcom's been doing it for a while now, but now you're seeing it for sure. Well, with any fighting games, right? But I want to pick on NRS for a while, because you're starting to see the game at $70, and then if you buy the bonus deluxe edition or the super combat collectors with the I don't know what it is. It's so weird. You're gonna start seeing the prices not only go up, but I mean, okay, so you'll get like access to the rosters, you get allowed into the beta. You get some perks along the way. You get fight coins and stuff like that, right? Where it's not properly, the values are not right, where you can never get anything. You have to buy extra just to get something, and then the currency just sits there, but they don't care. They already got your money. My biggest thing is like when they say you play the game free. To me, that says, oh yeah, I want you to beta test it for me. Pay me money and you beta test it, please. That to me just gets on my nerves, dude. And look, you guys know I love Street Fighter very much, and I've been talking highly about Capcom, but even then now, I might have brought it over about the whole collab with Capcom and TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where you get these costumes for your avatar, and mind you, they're just for your avatar, so you could use it in World Tour mode if you're doing avatar battles. If what else? You're in the battle hub and stuff just to represent you. That's all it does. It has no facial expressions. It's just a costume for your avatar, weighing in at $15 a piece. So if you want the whole set, $60 for skins, like for an avatar. Like, come on, man. Nobody, like, who does avatar battles? I always hear that. I see that as like a little, being silly. People do avatar battles and whatever for content creation. That's funny. That's cool. But like, you want to spend that much for what you call it? Oh, and by the way, guys, I've been on vacation this week, guys. I've been on vacation, just chilling, relaxing. I mean, I've been waking up at 7:30, 8 o'clock. Been productive in the mornings, whether cleaning out the garage or painting some stuff or just doing stuff around the house. And then around, early afternoon, get some lunch or late morning, get some lunch, and then kind of stream during the day and then just kind of hang out with the wife. And it's been fun. It's been great. Down here in the Gulf Coast area in Texas, I mean, we're reaching. I mean, it's hot. I'm sure it's hot wherever you guys are at, but it's definitely down here, super hot, super humid. It's been insane. And guys, if you guys work outside, take care of yourselves, guys. Take care of yourselves. 'Cause I know the feeling. I know how it feels like to work outside. So stay cool. So I've been just staying inside, indoors mostly. Just streaming and playing video games. Been bouncing around between Street Fighter. Been working on ranked matches. That's going good. It's a grind. It's literally just a grind, guys. You win some, you lose some. But what I've noticed is Capcom is they're very forgiving when it comes to losing matches at the platinum rank, where when you lose, you'll lose maybe 40 league points. And when you win, you'll get anywhere between 50 to 53, and depending if your opponent's higher rank and whatever. That's from what I've noticed. I'm not making a detailed account of everything that I'm winning and losing, but just when I look up and I see some stuff. So you win more than you lose some, which is fine. So it's mostly just a grind to get to where you want to get. So I still got a whiles to go. I want to set my goal. I'm just setting my goals as I go. So I finally reached platinum a couple of weeks ago. Now I'm ranking through that. There's 5 levels of that, and then I want to reach diamond. And then from diamond, we'll take it from there, and then hopefully we reach, master. But it's a process, guys. It really is just learning how to play your characters, the matchups, and I'm fortunate that when I stream it, the few people that come in that know me for a while, the usuals, which I really appreciate you guys being there. Thanks, guys. They'll help me out because we tend to be on my streams. I tend to be more fighting game oriented, focused, centered, and a lot of them also play Street Fighter. So they'll come up to me and tell me, like, all right, when you see Kim go for the disappear in the smoke, just start jab checking. If it's yellow, she's going for the overhead. If it's teal, green, she's going for the low. So keep your eyes out for that. Or look out for this. This character's gonna be plus and stuff like this. Or try this combo or try to execute. So a lot of fun with that game. It's and I kind of had a rocky launch with Street Fighter 6, having to learn the. Excuse me, guys, drinking a little early afternoon coffee. Having to learn the mechanics, drive rush, having to put that into my gameplay, and also I'm still playing on. And this is my norm now, guys. I like these little lever lists. It's a little bit small. We don't get something bigger, but you know what? I've been enjoying it. I've been having a good time. I'm probably have my eyes open when they become available. Hopefully the XL, and then there's another one from Paradise Arcade, and they collabed with Hitbox, and they got another one. They got one coming out, but it's I think it's not. I think it's only for PS3 and PC. You still got to use your Brooks converter, but I think they're working on some stuff. So I mean, They're not sponsored anyway. I have been using this product. I've been having a good time with it. It's fun, so I would suggest it. But yeah, playing Street Fighter, people come in there, help me out, and play, and meeting new people along the way. It's been fun, but it's definitely a grind. Still playing with Guile, and I told myself I'm going to try these new characters, but I did try a little bit Ken for a little bit. Ken seems like a perfect fit for this game. He seems like a perfect fit for the way the drive system is. He just you could really, if he just works really well with this game. Ryu, I don't know, man. I think he's boomer, man. I think he's too honest. He's too clean. He's too neutral. He doesn't got any tricks or gimmicks to get in. He's just too honest of a character, right? He's kind of like what Nakali was in Street Fighter 5. Like he's in a good spot, but he's very straightforward. I tried Cammy for a little bit, Luke for a little bit, but I've been having my heart set on Guile and just been hanging out there. I did manage to get some extra colors. I don't know if I mentioned this already, guys, but I did get some colors for Guile. I was usually able to use the drive tickets, so there is some currency you get in game just from playing it. But I was able to buy his colors. Of course, I picked the one. You know me. I like anything with like a yellowish hue to it. And I noticed, I know, guys, I've just been on a tangent. It's this podcast, whatever. Dude. It's a tangent, dude. I mean, look, we're 66 episodes in. Y'all know I'm just gonna go on a spiel and just start talking and stuff. Start talking. I did see when I was logging into the game yesterday. I was just looking around, and I was like, I think I said something about like you get like announcements for the game, and they're like, oh yeah, here's and then when you're playing the game, like you unlocked a certain tier and stuff like that. I was like, well, I've been unlocking tiers. Let me see what that means. So I actually went to go see what it is, and it's just a bunch of junk. Um, Emotes for your avatar, and I haven't been claiming them, by the way, guys, since the launch of the game. Yeah, apparently you have to go in there and actually claim these prizes. So I kind of like miss some already, so which I honestly do not care unless they're free characters or free character colors. That's the only thing I would like really like make sure I'm on top of. But I'm pretty sure that isn't a thing from Capcom. That's just the way it is now. You get nothing. Well, you paid $60 and you want more free content? Oof, big on peasants. Big on. No, you gotta pay for that shit, bro. You gotta pay. We'll talk about that later, about monies and free to play shit like that. But yeah, I noticed like you just a whole bunch of stuff like something for your avatar, an emote. I did see one where you could rent a character that you don't own and you could try them out, which if I gotta try it out and see how that works. But if anything, that is pretty cool. I do like that feature. Although I'm also the mindset that these new characters that come out, beyond the base game like Rashid and then Aki and then Ed and Akuma, which is planned to be for season one. I'm also of the mindset that they should also be accessible for the player in battle mode. In not battle mode, I'm sorry, I take that back. In training mode, I think they should be at least you should be able to try them out in training mode because how are you gonna learn what buttons do what with characters and certain situations and how you gonna punish, right? I mean, a lot. That's what I'm doing now in the game where I have kind of the basics for Guile down, and now it's optimizing and put everything together. What are your punish combos, right? And executing it, and going to DR and extend the combo, and then finish it with a what you call it. So I'll set Ken to wake up, DP. Um, so I was, and I think if Capcom were to go in that direction of giving people, and I don't know the logistics of it, right? Can people work around it? Are they gonna like make it where they're gonna get into the game and still be able to play it? I have no idea. I haven't and that part and the whole logistics side of I mean, look, they freaking had the crack beta for the longest, so I'm not saying they could completely rule out, but I'm just saying, if we're all honest people that didn't go around cracking the Street Fighter 6 beta, if Capcom was to say, you know what, for training, yeah, you have access to these characters, you could try them out. I'd be like, yo, that'd be great. That'd be great. So we could know what we're getting into, like, or try them out, right? Because look, I like Akuma. Akuma is one of my favorite characters. I don't always play him in every game, but Goku, Goki, Goku, I was gonna say Goku, and then Goki, which is his Japanese name, by the way, guys. Maybe you didn't know that. But Akuma is supposed to be one of my favorite characters. I want to try him out. I don't want to like maybe like buy him and then be like disappointed and let down. But I want to try him out. Maybe he does mesh for me, or maybe they change him too much and he's not my character, and then I'm just out and stuff like that. So, Street Fighter. That's where we've been, guys. That's where we've been, guys. What do we get into? What else? Oh, Final Fantasy 16. Been putting some grinding on that. I think I'm near the end of the game, guys. But what I'm doing is I'm doing all the side content, side quests, and stuff like that. And at first I wasn't going to. I was gonna like I'm just gonna go straight to the game and just knock it out. But what I've noticed, and it's not every quest, but every once in a while you'll get a quest and you'll get some materials to upgrade items to get either bigger item pouch, or get a better weapon and stuff like that, or get a better accessory just to help you out. So you do get rewarded and get some good loot at the end of doing these side quests. So I've been enjoying that, and I also, because that's I mean, I have been enjoying doing side quests. I've been having a good time. Of course, I still feel that the cutscenes are just way too much and way too long. They could just do something in text and just knock it out, so I could get back to the game. There's a lot of times where I'll turn the quest and I'll just go walk off and give me a drink of water. So that way, when I come back, it's ready to roll. And I know people say just skip them and everything, but yeah, just if anything, it's a good thing to when they're just talking after a quest and stuff. I just interact with chat because I tend to stream that game. But Final Fantasy 16, I think I'm getting close to the end of that one. I want to wrap it up because we're gonna have some games coming out in like next week. Next week with Armored Core 6 and Blasphemous 2. I'm starting to see some non-spoiler reviews on Blasphemous 2. And it looks like this game's gonna be in a good spot, and I'm totally excited. And I wish I remembered who the reviewer was. I'm sorry for not getting the name down, but that person said, and I'm paraphrasing here, rough along the lines of when they asked the developers about Blasphemous 2, they said it's basically Blasphemous with a budget because the team was able to get more funding, I guess, get new members, so they were able to get more of a bigger budget, bigger money. So from what I saw in the game, it looked pretty good. You'll start off with 3 different weapon types, and then they each have their own properties, and you get some new stuff where they added enough to the game to make it fun, but it's still not too much where it's something different. So I'm definitely excited about Blasphemous 2, guys. If you like, you know, if you like Metroid style games with a very dark tones in Spanish religion, I say give this game a shot. And it does lean into the podcast. It does lean a lot into the platforming. So just be ready for that, guys. There is some platforming on there, but I could tell you guys, I played the first one. I had a good time with it, and I want to say most of the DLCs were free. You might have to pay one, but it was one of those games where they gave you like updates and stuff like that, similar to like Dead Souls. You'll buy like a small DLC, and then you'll get updates along the way. So Blasphemous 2 coming out. I'm excited about that one. It's just the style, the tone, the look. I want to play it. I want to play it. I think it'll be a fun game to stream too. It's mostly because it's kind of like I don't think it's on many people's radar. Also, which is fine. A lot of people tend to gravitate towards the AAA titles, and I do too. Like I like to, go towards the big time fighting games and the big time games that I love. Elden Ring and Final Fantasy, stuff like that. But when you like a help, and I know I like I have no barely even a presence of anything on on streaming side, but if I could at least get some eyeballs on Blasphemous 2, and it could lead people to want to like get more information on the game and try it out, I'm all for it. I'm all for it because, like I said, the smaller teams they need to get some eyeballs on them too, right? And so we'll see. But everything for Blasphemous 2, from what I've seen, looks like it's on a good spot. So I'm excited to get my hands on it sometime next week, and that leads us into Armored Core 6. I'm also very excited about that one. Never played an Armored Core game in my life, but the track record that has right now is they're batting 1,000 for me. So I'm excited. I'm gonna pick up this game. I'll probably pick it up like a couple days right before it releases, and have it downloaded and ready to go. So that way, when I get home after work next week or in the weekend or something, just be ready to play and stuff like that. It's gonna be a whole new experience. I did look at some of the specs. I did look at some of the specs for the game. I didn't write them down, guys, but it didn't look too outrageous. They did say there's gonna be some ray tracing features, but I remember previously, and I don't know if they changed it since then. Sorry. The ray tracing is probably going to be just for the garage, where you have your mechs lined up in the garage and you just get to look at them. And I guess that's when you'll see some of the ray tracing. I don't know if they plan on implementing it during their actual gameplay, because in Elden Ring it didn't launch. And don't quote me, boys. With Elden Ring on launch, it didn't have ray tracing. They didn't introduce that until a couple of months ago with the patch. So, I mean, for all you NVIDIA users on the PC side, damn, you get to put some little ray tracing on your mix and see how that looks like. So, we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited for that one. I want to play it. Different pace. And I did see someone else tweet it. do a tweet, and they talked about, damn, man, I wish I could write these names, and I always forget. Like, I was just like making little mental notes, you know. But I'm sure you could find it. But someone was saying that it's probably still the same engine that they used Elden Ring and Sekiro on. So it's kind of like, I know I've talked to some of my friends, and they're not too crazy about that engine on the PC side. And no, you know, those are all valid points that my friends bring up. But if hopefully they did something better. I mean, I just don't want it to be. And I'm sorry, guys, if I told you this already. But you know, Elden Ring, I totally enjoyed it. It's still one of my favorite games. I love it. It's so good. I would recommend it to anybody who just loves, you know, action adventure games. On the piece, I played a little bit on the PlayStation side. The PlayStation side seemed, on the PS5, I should say rather, it it was running fine. I didn't put too many hours in it, but just a little I did around Lingrave, it seemed to be funny. It seemed to be running fine. On the PC side, that's another story, right? I don't, and it's gonna be very person for person. But when I'm playing it, I would have some stutters every once in a while, where it just got to the point where like I just had to accept the fact that they're in there. And of course, you know, I did see a couple of videos here and there to help kind of reduce that, knocking off some of there's like some window drivers that you could probably disable to help reduce some of the stutters, and I have noticed that it does help with that. So, you know, but the thing is, I shouldn't have to do that on the user side on PC. You know, this game should be able to. And look, I know it varies, right? That's one of the things about playing on PC, that there's just so many variables that sometimes stuff like this could happen. So I'm just hoping that maybe FromSoft kind of just maybe got some of their feedback and lessons from the community and their players and their fan base, that, you know, the engine, well, at least when it comes to PC side, is going to need some work, right? And they also said that on the PC side, they will be able to hit 120 frames, which I'm super excited about. I mean, if you folks are still just playing with like 60 frames per second, and then you go to 120, like, I'm telling you, it's a difference. And look, I could do 60 frames. I could do 60 frames, you know, especially when I play on console. If that's where I need to keep it so I could keep the most optimal gameplay is at 60, we'll keep it 60. But if I could push it to 120, let's go with 120. Let's go with 120. Let's make this as smooth as possible, just to make it, you know, just the best experience you can. The best experience you can. And mind you, guys, I play on 1080p. I play on 1080p on this computer, on the computer behind me over here, on the one that my wife commandeered. She, you know, that was a 3090. She plays Fortune 40 on that one. Baldur's Gate and Diablo. That's what she's been playing. Let's talk about Diablo, guys. What's going on with Diablo, guys? What's going on? Look, I don't play the game. My wife picked it up when it first came out. She tried out all the characters, but she soon fell off. And I don't know what the story is behind there. I did look around somewhere, and I'm sure this is old news by the time you guys are hearing this. I'm sure you've heard things about it, what's going on, about what they did with some of the season 1 changes and stuff like that. And I can't really go in depth too much on what's going on, guys. I'm just going to give you like my take on what's up, because it's going to vary, you know, your miles may vary, and just depending on how you feel about the game, right? But it turns out, from what I've just been seeing, looking around on different videos on YouTube, it looks like people are, not that the game is, you know, in a very bad spot where, you know, there's no one playing it. There's still very much a lot of people, but of course there has been a drop off. But it just feels like Activision Blizzard, it just seems like they're grabbing this game, they're monetizing as much as possible. And I saw somewhere where people are talking about they're getting to redeem, if you get the battle pass, you could redeem a season, but they kind of like put it on somewhere in the UI where you can accidentally click it, and then once you do, they're like, "Oh, sorry, we can't do nothing about that. Yeah, you just redeemed the season." And then of course, like a lot of little things. I did talk to one of my friends though. He came back in chat, and he said he's been playing the game, and it becomes to the point where you're having to manage inventory space. If you guys want to elaborate on that and tell me more about it, please let me know. But it just feels like, as much as the fanfare and the excitement and the buzz that Diablo was getting amongst at release or near release. It feels like right now it kind of just it's whatever momentum was there is completely gone. You know, and it's been a month. We who are video game enthusiasts, we tend to get to a game, and by a month, we're already looking for what's to play next. So that's kind of how it is, right? You get something, you consume it, you go through it. All right, what's next? Of course, it took a long time to make these games, right? Which is the norm for the most part for these big old bloated AAA studios, right? But maybe Baldur's Gate is just that much of a better product that people are just talking about it. I don't know, but it just feels like from what I've seen with Diablo 4, where it's at right now, it just feels like it's really in a rough spot, and that's just an outsider looking in. So, guys, if you have any opinions on that, let me know what I think, because I'm curious. I really am, because uh, I enjoyed playing Diablo 3 back when it came out on the 360. I had a really good time with it. I bought it again when it came out for the PlayStation 4. And, I did a lot of couch co op with my wife, and we had a good time. It was fun. I never had to buy anything. I did buy the expansion pass, the one that introduced the Crusader and another act, which was fun. I enjoyed it. Now, I just kind of like, my wife played it and she fell off, and that's it. So it feels like, damn, man, if it didn't even hold my wife's attention, and she likes video games too, and she's more on the casual side, but she likes to play games, and apparently this one just wasn't it. And I'm sure there's a whole list of issues that people are having with this game. I mean, me personally, it's coming out at $70, and then they want you to they want to microtransaction stuff and get you these armor suits and stuff like that cost anywhere between what, $20-$25 or something like that. And then the way they do the monetization of buying the coins, and how much you have to buy a little bit more, but it's not going to be enough, so you have to buy another tier of whatever they're called, gold Diablo coins, Diablo bucks, whatever. It's I just feel like Activision Blizzard right now is just whatever they were doing, they're not, and they're just here to just monetize the hell out of it. Which after a certain point, it just becomes like, why? What does it matter? Activision Blizzard transitioning into modern. Where is that? Hold on, guys. I wrote it down somewhere. Oh yeah. So Activision, we have. Does anybody care about this? Please let me know, guys. Please let me know. Activision, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 will launch on November 10th. How do we feel about that, guys? Are we in? Are we out? Are we still playing this game? I'm going to stand by and say this will still be the best selling game of 2023. For some weird reason, these COD games are just they sell. They just sell. There's always a new generation of gamers coming in and ready to fill up that void where us boomers are kind of out and stuff like that, and they'll come in and they'll get their parents' credit card and start charging and buying all the stuff and making all the money and buying the game again. But I don't know. I've been out from Call of Duty for the longest. I enjoyed their stuff. It was cool, but you know what? It's just. I mean, how many times can you just keep? And what's gonna happen, guys? It's gonna be $70. You might. Yeah, I think I read somewhere on Twitter where like, oh, you're gonna some things are gonna carry over, which surprised me. Well, I gotta see though. We gotta see. It was just a tweet, and I didn't really look into it. So it's just take it with a grain of salt. Some things might carry over, but it's gonna have the same thing. If I were to bet, if I was a betting man, right, I'd say they're probably gonna have a battle pass. You'll have a freemium pass, and then a regular battle pass, and then like a premium battle pass where you only get some certain items behind there, you know. And of course, you can hear the fanboy. I can already hear the fanboys, but it's at least it's not pay to win. It's not cosmetics. Oh yeah. What about when they have like certain guns and features and attachments just set to that, right? Well, how does that feel? We'll see. We'll see. But I mean, I just wanted to bring it to y'all's attention. I mean, I don't think anybody's surprised by now. I mean, we see these every year. If it keeps selling, they're gonna keep making them, right? So I mean, just like anything, guys, when it comes to this business or any business, right? As you know, because we're consumers, we consume a lot of things, right? especially when it comes in the media space. You know, the best way to vote is just with your wallet. Tell them no, don't want to do it, don't want to be a part of it, don't want to play your game, don't want to put any eyeballs on it. You know, and that's also just as, you know, people who do streaming, that that's one way to, you know, really. And how about with the controversy that they had, especially, you know, a couple of months ago with Nick Merckx, you know, his comment he said about the situation that's going over there, and then it just gets completely blown out of proportion, and then, you know, it just, you know, it just becomes cascades into just a big PR crap show for Activision Blizzard. I mean, you know how it is, guys. All right, I think that's enough Activision Blizzard for right now. I think that's enough for them. What do we got? What do we got, guys? We got more fighting games. Kind of goes. Oh, okay. I'm all over the place here, guys. Sorry, you know how it is. I kind of just take my notes and just kind of run with it. The I'm not done with Activision Blizzard. Not done. I'm still gonna pile. I'm still gonna shovel more dirt into their freaking gravesite on the graveyard. I'll be the guy who's gonna be just shoveling more stuff in there. I'm gonna be that dude that like, poses in front of them throwing the peace sign while Activision Blizzard is in the freaking like a freshly dug grave. That'll be me. Overwatch 2 on Steam back in on August 10th. So I must have did the podcast right before this happened, or I must have missed it. Anyways, so Overwatch 2 is now on Steam. And just looking at it, it looks like, and you know, I'm going to look at it right now while we're doing this podcast, guys. You won't see it, but I will. I don't have my screen being captured. But it looks like when I took my notes on this sometimes last week, it looks like, let's go to store real quick. Let's look at Overwatch real quick. Overwatch 2 free, blah blah blah. It looks like, just on looking at the reviews, guys, as of August 18th, 2023, all the reviews overwhelming. I can't speak right now. We never could be. Shut up. Overwhelmingly negative at 144,730. That's oof. And I mean, look, this could just be review bombs. People are upset about it. And when we've seen it before, right? We've seen games just get reviewed bombed because of, they took away a feature or added a feature or did something, and we've seen it before, right? But to get this much of a negative review, I mean, this thing is red, bro. This is like Fire Engine red bad. I mean, literally. And you can never see the reviews on Activision Blizzard, right? They'll never show you the reviews. I think that's a positive for Steam. And you know what I was thinking too? I was like, well, maybe if I'm getting on Steam, maybe. And I learned this lesson back with Jedi Survivor, or was the first Jedi game with the little red ginger kid. Well, anyway, playing the first one, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the game. I just play it from Steam. It'll be great. No, you gotta get the freaking third-party launcher. Same with Overwatch 2. You still gotta get the freaking Blizzard. Like, great. Unless you're trying to get rid of it, but still, I'm not gonna play the game. But overwhelmingly negative. I can't believe I'm having such a hard time saying that word. That's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, of course, a lot of it has to do just from what they did with Overwatch, changing it to Overwatch 2, going from 6v6 to 5v5, a lot of changes, putting characters behind paywalls. It's just, whatever this, I mean, this game is such a good spot that it's not. It's terrible. It's rad. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, they're getting that many. They got more. When I wrote it down, all reviews, it was mostly negative. At 12,000, now it's Jesus Christ. It just got worse. It just got worse. Yeah, Activision Blizzard right now, guys. I want to keep shoveling dirt on them, but yeah, they're just in a bad spot. Speaking of bad spots, Rockstar Game. They are porting Red Dead Redemption, which includes their Undead Nightmare DLC. So that comes together. and they're bringing it over to the PlayStation 4 and Switch. And you know, my first impression, my very first impression, guys, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, it's fucking dope, dude." You know, the game's been, came out for PS3 and Xbox. I played on 360 and I actually enjoyed it. Okay, I played that one all the way through and I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. You know, I was thinking, you know what? It's been out for a long time. We haven't seen any other versions of the game that I could think of, except through emulation and stuff. But you know what's gonna come out for these new systems? You know, I'm gonna upgrade it for these new modern screens. You know, you probably have 60 frames per second. It would be nice. Maybe they'll add some stuff where, for the PC side, you could really get some good, graphic features. Maybe some DLSS if you're on the Nvidia side, some RTX stuff, or maybe if you're on the AMD side, maybe FSR. And just really upscale it and make it look really great, right? Wrong. Nope. Not at all. Nope. Zero. Zilch. Nada. I mean, you're getting no graphic upgrades. You're getting no 60 frames per second. It's going to be $50. It's going to be $50. You know, if they would have brought it down to like maybe, $20 and less, $19 less, 50, I don't know. I'd say 19 would be, we stop at $19. We stop at $19. I would have said, yeah, you can argue it. You can argue it at $20. You probably bought dumber stuff for $20, but 50. The original release date was back in May 2010. It's just like, why? Then, so like I said, at first, my first impression was like, yeah, this gonna be good. And then I saw more into it. Like, wow. Wow. So like, okay. All right. Look, I'm not the person to go to when it comes to all the technical ports and how it looks and how the different engines look like when they've been, remastered and look over there and using FSR and DLSS. I'm gonna watch a Digital Foundry video, and guys, check them out. They always do really good review, really in depth. They really get into the weeds when it comes to looking at how the different ports compare to different systems and stuff like that. And sometimes I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's some times where they get into some stuff, and I'm just like, these two pictures look the same. Like, well, if you look here, you can see there's some shimmering in the background, and the very sharp edges are just very, they're out of focus, and they're not, and I'm gonna tell you guys. Sometimes I could see the difference. Sometimes I could tell. But a lot of times they'll get something in the corner, a bush, and they'll zoom in and you look, and I'm just like, this is exactly the same thing. I can't tell. I can't tell. My boomer eyes, I'm like, yo, it is what it is. But look, these guys, and that's just me and just kind of like, whatever. It is what it is, But I mean, look, these guys get in-depth reviews, so I would suggest check out their video, guys, if you're on the fence about it. But it just seems like, you know, it just seems like Rockstar is like, man, like, this is the best you could do. You couldn't just throw us a freaking bone here, and then just kind of like, oh, I would like to see John Marston and explore the Wild West and everything in a freaking nice updated 60 frames per second. Okay, look, maybe on the Xbox Series X, maybe it does run on that. Maybe we'll see. Maybe the PlayStation 5. We gotta see. But I still think last time I checked, I think it was 30 frames. Still 30 frames per second. We gotta look it up. But it just feels like, and I'm a fan of some ports. I'm a fan of some ports. You get to play on the Switch. I don't know how important that is for you guys. I mean, you can play on the go now, and I'm sure the Switch will easily handle it. But it just feels like, man, you wait this long, and then I'm a big fan of ports, but it's just like sometimes you gotta do the ports right though, man. If it's just a 1-for-1, I guess now you have to price it. You have to put it at a really good price for someone to want it. Now, if you put it over and you did some overhauls on the engine and the graphics and how it plays, the frames per second, and make it more customizable for your features and your graphic stuff like that. Okay, that's even better. You guys are showing me that you really care. You want to get this to a new set of eyeballs, because it's been 2010s. It's been a whole generation of new gamers. That's what seventh generation of gaming, I believe. So, um, yeah, yeah, Rockstar, Red Dead Redemption, you get the DLC. Must be nice. Must be nice. Let's shift over into fighting games for a while, guys. We're gonna hang out here for the fighting game section for a while. Uh, Guilty Gear, Strive. I like Guilty Gear Strive. It's actually my favorite Guilty Gear. I didn't play Exert all that much. I never played um X, was it Guilty Gear R plus X plus? I never played that one. I only played Exert and Strive was the one I put the most hours into. Let's just double check. I know it's the most one I put the most hours into, or Guilty Gear Accent Core plus R. I never played that one. I did pick it up dirt cheap. So Guilty Gear Strive, 136 hours. So I played it for a while, not as much as some other people. I know some people have played a ton of more hours, which is all power to them. But season 3 coming out on the 24th, just around the corner, along with Blasphemous and Armored Core. I'm excited. They're going to be making some new changes. I believe they're making some update changes also to the roster, which is, I'm all for. Everyone, you gotta make sure things are balanced and in a good spot. Side tangent, real quick, guys. When it comes to updates, balances, and nerves and stuff like that, and this applies, in my opinion, this is going to apply to not only just fighting games but shooters. Anything that has like a competitive edge where you have different avatars, different fighters, different guns, whatever. And instead of nerfing things down to the ground, I'm of the mindset of just buffing things to rise them to the levels of other things. Let's just increase the power level to other things. Now, this doesn't mean I want to see if there's stuff that's just inherently broken, that is just completely messing up the game, or is changing the meta for something, then yes, let's rework it. Let's change some things out, so we could try, other balances, so we could bring other things to the forefront, right? But I don't want to see things just get nerfed to the ground just because that's the quick and easy solution. No, let's see something that isn't being played, that isn't being utilized, and let's make that fun. Let's make that great again. Let's bring that up. So that's my mindset when it comes to games and stuff like that. So Guilty Gear Strive, season 3. I'm sure we're gonna see some balance changes, some updates. I'm all for. We'll see. And that's something I'm excited to look for. I want to look at the list and go over. I definitely want to see what they do with Leo Whitefang. But so far on season 3, and mind you, I've purchased season 1. It was on a slight discount. I picked up season 1, and you know what? In hindsight, even with that small discount, I don't think I should have picked it up. I really felt like it's just, there wasn't really anything there for me to want to do that says I had to get it. But I did pick it up. But I just feel like, okay, lesson learned, Rick. Even if you do wait, doesn't mean just because it goes on a slight discount, you should just pick it up, unless you really feel like there's someone there for you. Season 2, there, Oscar looked pretty cool, Bedman looked pretty cool, but for the most part, I didn't pick up that one at all. If anything, I would like to get the stages, but at the end of the day, a stage it's just a stage, honestly. And it's not like Guilty Gear is like my go-to fighting game. Season 3, they have this really cool character coming out by the name of Johnny. And I saw his video of how to, a breakdown of his moves, and he does look awesome. And I know I say this a lot. I say this about this Eric Harry, right? He does look awesome. But Johnny legit looks awesome. So I think going forward, at least when it comes to fighting games, because I'm the same way with Street Fighter now, I'm going to, or at least I'm going to adopt this mindset, right? When it comes to Street Fighter also, is not necessarily pick up the season pass unless it goes on a deep discount, but maybe just pick up a character that you are interested in, right? And of course, I wish, like I said, about Street Fighter, where I wish ArcSys would kind of have a mindset of maybe try out this character, or have it maybe like the first week of release, have an update where people can actually try him out for 1 week and say they like it, right? I don't know. I think that'd be a good idea. consumer first mentality. That I don't think I'm in the wrong for that, right? Because I would like to try out Johnny. He looks super cool. I've always heard really good things about it. He's one of the mainstay characters, and that's something else that we could like. We could go on a tangent real quick though, but it feels like, should you put iconic legacy characters behind a paywall? Oh, that's a good discussion. That's a good discussion. That's a discussion I'm willing to have with somebody. I could see both sides. So just food for thought. But yeah, I'm seeing Johnny. I'm thinking I might pick him up. I might pick up Johnny, but we'll see as I play the game and I get to fight against them. We'll see how that goes as the date approaches. Shifting back into the esports side. Okay, I got two things I want to talk about near the end. We'll wrap it up after the esports stuff. I want to try to keep it consistent, guys. I know consistency. At least Rick's consistent, all right. For all his shortcomings, at least, yeah, right. I'm going on to the esports side on Street Fighter 6. The Gamer 8 Esports Invitational Tournament happened last weekend. And man, I didn't watch any of it. I know it took place over there in the Middle East, so it was kind of like later on. I don't know what time it happened, to tell you the truth, but I missed it completely. Look, I recently just watched Evo the week before, so I was good. But they had an invitational event. They had 32 players. They played round robin, and then it got down to 16 double elimination with the top two placers in each of the 8-man groups. Play duke it out. And man, they had those oil barons. They have some. I think they're really trying to make like the Middle East. I forgot what town it was. I'm not even gonna attempt to say the name. It wasn't Dubai, but they had another, really upcoming big town that they're trying to, I guess, make it more inviting, to make it more global, trying to bring in more esports, and I'm guessing make it more, I guess, more worldly, more globalized, I believe, for lack of better words. I'm pretty bad. But yeah, they threw some big money for this tournament, and the prize pool was $1 million. So I'm just gonna list the top 5 players from the tournament, and I know there's a lot of money over there. There's big time money, right? But I saw a tweet from Punk saying, "Yeah, I got a third place and I got 100K." I'm like, "That's third place? You got 100K?" I mean, they're throwing some money. Like Capcom, they did some money when it came to Evo. They had some good money coming in, and rightly so, right? It's their flagship fighting game. It's the biggest event to date for that game. They're gonna throw some money to really get people in, and it showed, right? We had over 7,000 entrants for Evo. Angry Bird got it. Good. I mean, he did a great job, phenomenal. Just watching the event was great. I mean, but he got $1 million, and then the other million, divided amongst the prize pool of other players. But on this one, just the prize pool alone was $1 million. At number 1, Kakeru, playing JP, first place, $400,000. I'm like, bro. I mean, he earned it. I got nothing bad to say about it. He got it, but Jesus, this guy got $400,000 playing broke ass JP. They didn't nerf that. No, don't nerf characters yet, guys. Don't nerf characters. Second place, we had Angry Bird playing Ken at 200,000. Third place, Punk playing Cammy at 100K. At fourth, we had Big Bird playing Marissa, and he won 80,000. And then at number 5, we had Mena RD playing Luke and Blanca and getting $50,000. I think he also got like a pot bonus for ended up undefeated in the round robin section of the tournament. So he got a little pot bonus also. So, I mean, that is some big okay, listen, I'll be 100% with you guys. I don't really watch the esports outside of fighting games, and even then, I prefer the smaller stuff when it comes to the fighting games, like your Wednesday night fights and, and OBC when that used to happen with Spooky and the boys. But there's some other, grassroots, smaller online tournaments that you could be able to check out and stuff, and that's what I prefer, right? But you can see the esports side of it, and and you see these guys, able to, get some money to make the bread and stuff like that. Yo, I'm all for it. Get your money, bro. Get your money because tomorrow's never certain, right? But seeing this money is like, Jesus Christ, that is a lot. That's crazy. So I don't know how it compares to like the pot bonuses or just the prize pool when it comes to like Counter Strike and Overwatch. What's some of the other one bigger guys? Yeah, y'all know. I'm sure y'all watch. God damn, I'm thinking. What's the one? League. The League has stuff. Does Dota still do things? Are they still big? I'm not too sure. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I know fighting games aren't as big as the ones that I mentioned, and it's hard to say why. Is it because fighting games are hard? Are they hard? Are they really? Are they? I don't know. But yeah, big money out there for the Gamers 8 esports thing. Good for them. They made some good money. Speaking of balance updates and patch notes and everything, I think Capcom said they're gonna let the game go for a whole year before they do any balance updates, which I'm all for. I'm all for. I remember what was it? I think it was back in Street Fighter Five at the release of Season Two. Right before Season Two started. No, right before the next season of CPT started, they had I forget the time, but it doesn't matter. They did a balance update, and then like a month later, they did another balance update. It's just like, guys, it was like a month or two. The game can't fully breathe yet. It hasn't even fully developed. The skills haven't formed yet. It's like or the tech isn't out yet. You gotta let the game people experience it and learn things around it. So I mean, and I don't know if a lot of people might have forgot that about that already, but I really feel like you gotta. I think that's a better place to put the game in is unless something is just broken, let the game go as it is. Because I tell you, and look, I'm not a pro player, right? I'm a hyper fan when it comes to playing fighting games. I love playing fighting games, especially Street Fighter. But when I see people, and you probably know who these people are, right? These are probably like the more, well, maybe we'll call them scrubs. We'll call them scrubs, right? Or maybe they don't have the best experience or don't know have any matchup knowledge, or maybe they just don't want to lap things up and find out for themselves how to get around things, right? So what they'll do is they'll say, oh, this character is just way too good, way too broken, it needs to be nerfed. Have you tried lapping up and finding situations around it? Have you tried doing this? Have you tried, I mean, and I feel that's where it comes to, I want to say all. I don't want to do that umbrella. Put everything under the umbrella and say all people who complain about stuff are have this mentality. But it feels like unless something is broken, and I sound like a fucking record right now, but unless it's like just really just insanely just undealable, something you can't deal with, undealable, something you just can't deal with, learn how to get around it. That's your job as the player to minimize all the randomness and luck that's involved and make it all about skill and learning and having the matchup. That's how it should be done. And it shouldn't be, oh, I don't know how to get around this. I didn't lab it up. So, yeah, I need to nerf it. No. And I hope Capcom goes with that mentality of we do one thing and let it rock for the whole year and see how it plays out and how the meta shifts and how it forms and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see. I just wanted to bring that up, guys. Before we wrap it up, I know I've been going over, but it's fine. I know, like I said, my schedule's kind of off because been on vacation, just kind of just do things threw things out of whack, but it'll be off. It'll be fine. A couple more things before we wrap it up, guys. Two smaller things. We have what did I put it at? Oh, we have Gamescom coming out next week. Yes, Gamescom will be next week, and I think it takes place in Cologne, Belgium. Please don't laugh at my geography, guys. It's terrible. So I think that's gonna be happening between the 23rd and 27th. So get ready for some news. I'll try to get the best I can and cover the stuff that I'm interested in, and hopefully we'll get some stuff on some upcoming releases. So maybe Who knows? Who knows what we'll get? But usually that's something to look forward to. So it's usually like near, like mid to late summer, you get some information out there. So we'll see. But I did want to bring up with that though. AMD did say that no, they wouldn't say, but it's kind of like speculated. It's kind of rumored that AMD will be showing, they'll be revealing their 7700 XT and their 7800 XT mid-range GPUs. So that's something to look forward to, especially on the GPU side and the computer side, guys. When it comes to GPUs now, I would say do some research, look around, what's available, what you need, especially for what you want to plan and play. Don't go too crazy. Don't go too crazy. I know it's like I need to practice what I preach, right? But make sure if you're gonna get like a 4090 and you're just gonna be like playing like 1080p 60 frames, it's like maybe you should just get like 4070 or something. I don't know. But even then, the pricing right now is kind of, especially on the Nvidia side, so weird. And AMD is not immune to this also. And AMD is at the point where they'll come up with a card which will be way overpriced for what it should be, and then they'll start bringing down the price gradually, because I feel like now the 7900 XT and XTX are at a price where it actually should be at launch. But I think they kind of saw like, oh, we could charge all this ridiculous high price and let's launch it at that. But no, they bring the price down. But even then, I have both. I have a 3090 and I have a 6900 XT. They're both fine. They're both great. They work great. They do what they got to do. On the AMD side, sometimes the drivers are, and then on the Nvidia side, well, I mean, they're Nvidia. You're paying a premium, but you're paying that premium. So, and of course, right now the 40 series, you kind of have to like pick and choose what do you want. You got to pick and choose, and just make sure if you get something, make sure you do some research and get exactly for what you want it for, because they're kind of everywhere, all over the place right now. Also, TGS, Tokyo Game Show, will be September 21st. Of course, that's still a while from now, so we'll get some more information as it gets closer. But there's still some conventions and cons and comms that for some video game news. So that gets write that down, and I'll make sure to talk about it as you get closer, guys. Anything else we need to talk about? Because we're approaching an hour. Yeah, I think I'll save this last bit for next week, which sounds interesting, but I've been ranting and rambling enough for an hour already. Anyways, guys, I want to say thank you very much for listening. You guys are the best. You're awesome. Remember to like all that, all algorithm BS. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Tell your friends about it. And if anything, I'm always streaming. Twitch.tv OS underscore R1CK. Just drop by, hang out. I'm doing a lot of Street Fighter right now. Guilty Gear when that comes out pretty soon, and then of course the games that I'm waiting for, Armored Core 6 and Blasphemous 2. So yeah, drop by, say hello, tell me what's up, what games you've been playing. If you listen to the podcast, tell me what your favorite part is, what's your not so favorite part, and what do you think about a lot of stuff, because I do like y'all's feedback. I do like when y'all people able to reach out to me and tell me like, well, Rick, I don't exactly agree with this, or I have a different take on that. And I'm all for having a discussion, because I think we all enjoy this hobby, and it's very nuanced, right? A lot of things to talk about. There's some things you might like that I don't like, and vice versa. And having a conversation about it, I think that's what makes it fun. Just talking about it and being critical, right? Just being aware of where the games are at, the business is at, where big gaming is at, right? Knowing what it's trending to, what it is, and just it's okay to be a fanboy and just be really enjoy something, but at the same time, you have to know that it's not always what it seems to be, right? Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. This was episode 66. I hope to see you guys for the next one. I'm going to try to get back to a regular schedule once I get off vacation and stuff like that. But until then, have a good time. Have a good evening. Go play some video games. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.